The whole idea that humans have, this, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over. That's over.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 1 to 6. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honor to our venerable apostles and others of great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today is the 19th of March already, right? We're pretty much 2/3 of the way done with the month of March, okay? And of course, lo and behold, we're starting to see, which we have been seeing, but now we're starting to see these things actually take effect, right? And as we just read, okay, the Lord is going to be sending plagues, all right, upon the world, all right, not just here in America, but around the whole entire planet, all right, and it's going to be a similar theme. That's how you're going to know that, oh, it's the Heavenly Father who's at work, right? The sword, famine, death, and destruction. And those things are not signs of like Trump is saying, a golden age, okay, a dawn of a new era, all right? So again, as the scripture says in the book of Proverbs, that the deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, so as they march on, and like they say, a martial-like footing towards their so-called New World Order, okay, it's going to be mixed with a whole lot of bumps on the road. Not just for them who are trying to execute it, but those who are going to be going through it. Okay, which is the whole entire planet. All right, and then one of the bumps we're going to be seeing, all right, is starting with this article here. Okay, and it says here, brace yourself for price hikes on these 8 types of groceries in April. And yesterday I did a little lesson on, the kind of things that they're trying to do, all right, to set up the stage for this entering into the summer, into the fall, especially with the EU nations and how they're going to be bringing about their so-called EU digital currencies. Okay, something that's been pushed heavily since the CV-19 happened back in 2020, 2021. All right. And ever since then, we've been seeing all this increase in technology and the use of technology / AI. All right. But we see that this is all leading to one thing and one thing only, like we always say here, starting from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, which is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. Okay, that is the end goal. That is the main agenda, all right, that these so-called elites are working on. Okay, and they're going to bring a lot of pain and suffering in order for that to come about. All right, it says here, is your grocery bill out of control? Thanks to tariffs, it could get worse this spring. Okay, typically these kind of things happen during the summer and fall into the winter. But to start off the year like that in the spring, yeah. Okay. It says high prices have become the norm at the grocery store in recent years due to inflation. This spring stands to bring another wave of grocery price increases due to tariffs. President Donald Trump's tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada are more likely to impact food prices, as they are the countries that from which the U.S. imports the most food by far. Now, anyone with a brain, first question you should ask yourself is, why the hell is this guy, Trump, actually putting tariffs on these countries now. See, it's not like you can't use this whole border thing as a reason to punish everybody else. You know, you have all this technology. You know, you spend billions of dollars on the so-called military industrial complex, and yet these are the tactics you're going to use to mitigate cartels crossing borders. That doesn't even make sense. Plus, if you're really going to put tariffs on any country, why are you putting tariffs on the actual goods that the actual people are actually going to be using? See, why don't you put tariffs on other things that's going to be more detrimental to these countries in terms of their companies and so on and so forth, rather than the food? You see, because when you mess up with the food, you're messing with the people's lives, and maybe that's the agenda all along. See, so it says here, the U.S. imported more than $20, more than $20 billion and $18 billion in food from these nations in 2022, respectively, according to the World Bank. France ranked a distant third, with the U.S. importing about $7.5 billion in French foods that year. And that includes your favorite wines, okay, different types of liquor, all right? You want the quality stuff, you got to get the ones that's coming from Europe. You see, the Italian stuff, right? Well, these tariffs are going to be affecting all these countries because guess what? Sometimes the things that may be coming from France, it might be developed by maybe Italians, right? In France, you see, and then they ship it from France over here. So if France is being affected, and they might not be able to go back to Italy to do it because Italy doesn't have no tariffs yet, right? Because ultimately all these EU nations are going to be hit with tariffs eventually, okay? Or something to that effect that's going to cause them to get pissed off against America, okay? But just like everything else, they always start off with a little, and then eventually it rounds up to the whole, okay? Individually, ultimately, then collectively, right? It says here, food imports tend to be agricultural products, okay? What about the cars and the TVs and all those appliances that people could do with, or could do without? You know, I mean, we live in a society now where people are addicted to electronics. Okay, it's not like, oh, it's a necessity that we use. Of course it is, right? In the world that we're living in, if you don't have a cell phone / smartphone, you're pretty much assed out. You know, jobs nowadays, they all use technology. If you want to get a job that pays well, you got to be affiliated some way, somehow with technology. You know, especially with the CV thing that happened, a lot of people even work from home. You can't work from home without anything but technology. You need internet, you need a computer that works, you need a smartphone, all these different things, right? So nowadays, everything is all online, digital, and all those kind of things, man. You have a digital platform, digital identity, people making millions of dollars on YouTube and these different platforms, all through digitalization. Okay, and they wouldn't see that kind of money if they were to actually do these kind of businesses in real life. It just wouldn't happen. You see? So the importance of the whole internet thing is pretty much, this is the world we're living in. I go to certain homes, certain customers and shit, and they be like, oh, I can't sleep without my TV. I have to have my TV on. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Man, what the hell? Some motherfucker be like, oh, I can't live without my CNN. I'm like, damn. See, those kind of people, they gonna end up taking a C-hip because they're being programmed to do so. Okay, but the point is, why isn't Trump putting tariffs on those kind of products? Why is it targeting the agricultural sector? Right? It says, so Trump's tariffs on Mexico and Canada are more likely to affect the prices of certain types of groceries, like produce, than others. It's important to note that Trump has postponed his tariffs on Mexico, or it's like on Mexican and Canadian imports. However, it's like, one second. It's allergy season. Anyway, it says, however, the White House has also said these tariffs, including those on agricultural products specifically, are scheduled to take effect on April 2nd. Okay, so in a few weeks from now. All right. Here's a look at some of the types of groceries for which the U.S. supply is considerably reliant on Mexico or Canada. It says, and thus would stand to see price increases stemming from tariffs come April. Again, in 2 weeks, we're going to be in April. Okay. It says avocados. These motherfuckers is already expensive as is now. Imagine when these things go into effect. It says around 90% of avocado supply in the U.S. is imported. Like, damn, 90%, man? Up from 40% in the early 2000s. What happened? According to data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, not only is Mexico the top producer of avocados worldwide, but the U.S. is the top importer of Mexican avocados. Okay? Between 2019 and 2021, the U.S. imported an average of 2.25 billion pounds of avocados per year from Mexico, which accounted for 88% of all avocado imports during that period. The rest was imported from Peru, 7%, the Dominican Republic, 3%, and Chile, 1%. So America is just 88%. Right? 88%. And it says what? They brought in an average of 2.25 billion pounds of avocados from Mexico alone. And it's, well, how many people, 300 something million Americans in here? And you got 2.2 billion pounds of avocados coming in every year? Bro, there should be enough food for everyone to eat. We should not be going to grocery stores paying this much money when there's an abundance of natural resources like this, man. It goes to show you, this is why Esau has a grip on farming and all these different things. They don't want people to be self-sufficient. You see, because if you're self-sufficient, you're not going to be going to the grocery store buying tomatoes and avocados and peppers and onions. You grow that in your backyard. See, it's enough to go around for everyone. These kind of things the Lord created, all right, from the earth that we can eat, as it says in the book of Genesis. Okay, every herb yielding seed, all right, we can consume. Or no, not herb. I think it's let me see if I can get it real quick. Let's see real quick. Herb. Right here. There's a book of there's a book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 29. It says, and the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. Okay, so it's these are things for us to consume. Verse 30, Genesis 1 and 30 says, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Okay? So the Lord, He created it where even animals could eat off of the earth. How much more the people? That's why the Lord gave us the ability to cultivate the earth so we can utilize the resources thereof. Right? Then Esau, whole ass come in, creates corporations, says, no, we're going to create supermarkets. So now it's easy for you to go shopping. You don't got to go create a farm and, deal with the stress of the seasons and all that. No. We have factories. Okay. We have food processing plants, right? Where we're able to go use cheap labor and trafficking and so on and so forth in these foreign countries, get the products there for very cheap, bring it over here, put our chemicals on it, and then redistribute it through these grocery store chains and so on and so forth. And then you go out and buy it. It's not fresh, it's not healthy, but you're going to be paying a higher price than what if you total the amount of labor and products and shipping and all the whole entire process from where it came from the ground in the foreign country to the shelf where you buy it, when you calculate the expenses for them to go through that process, is probably 3 or 4 times less than what you're going to be paying at the store. Okay? And then you wonder, like, damn, why is everyone sick out here? You know? You got the USDA involved in everything. You got what's the other one? They got USDA. They got shit. What's the other one? There's another one in there that they always talk about. They regulating the food and all that shit. You know? Goddamn. I forgot what they call. But you know, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. All right. But yeah, they supposed to be. Oh, the FDA, Slovakia. That's the one I was looking for. The Food Drug Administration, right? Food and drugs. Like, what's going on? Esau, man. You know? But they don't. If they were to follow the laws of the Heavenly Father, there'll be no hunger on the earth. Everyone will not be sick. They'll be all health. You know, people going to live longer. You know, sicknesses. You know, there's all these dentists everywhere now, right? All these different things. It's like, damn, bro, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here, man. It's too much. All right? It's too much. Esau it's just too much, man. All right? And now people are about to suffer OD now. Okay? It says, incidentally, avocados are among the types of produce most likely to get hit by price hikes at Target. As we reported in 4 retailers warning of price hikes as Trump tariffs ramp up. All right, so that's another article that came out, I think, a couple of days ago. It says the U.S. has been a net importer of fresh broccoli. All right, so broccoli is the next on the list. And this was since 2013, meaning the country... There you go. It says, meaning the country imports more of it than it exports. Okay, and that's a problem. All right, that's a problem. When you have over 369 million people in this country, you're supposed to have most of your farmers up in here cranking up stuff and making sure that people are fed. You should not be having a goddamn president talking about he's going to put tariffs on the food that you people got to eat here from these different countries. And you wonder, again, the question is, what did these countries do for this to happen? All of a sudden, I'm just going to put a tariff on them because, whatever fucking reason he gave. You see? But the reason really doesn't matter. As long as prophecy is being fulfilled, that's all that matters. No matter how the angle they take, whatever the case, prophecy being fulfilled is all that matters. Okay, and this is where you see in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, where it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, right? But they shall destroy them, all right, with swords and weapons and so on and so forth, for lack of bread and for great tribulation. We're reading the days that leads to that lack of bread. And these Americans, trust me, they don't have the heart to resist or to fight any type of hunger. They don't fast. They don't pray. All right. They eat like animals. If you don't feed them, they get cranky. They start barking at you, start getting crazy. They're like animals for real. That's disgusting behavior. And the Most High is going to show them. Okay. It says in 2013, broccoli imports totaled 381 million pounds. A decade later, they averaged 608 million pounds per year, according to USDA data. And 95% of broccoli imported by the U.S. comes from Mexico. All right. Another thing that's going to be affected is snap beans, fresh snap beans. All right. It says the U.S. is a net importer of fresh snap beans, also known as string beans. Imports averaged 235 million pounds per year between 2021 and 2023. Most of these imports, 161 million pounds, or 68%, came from Mexico. Guatemala was a distant second with about 67 million pounds, or 29%. All right. Another one is orange juice. Orange juice, not the orange juice. Orange juice is the most popular whole juice beverage in the U.S., but most of the orange juice available to the U.S. consumers is imported. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, an estimated 78% of it was imported as of 2023-2024, up from 15% in 2023-2024. Damn. Okay. It says most imported orange juice is from Mexico, 67%. The rest is from Brazil, 28%, and Costa Rica, 4%. Then the next on the list is cabbage. All right, they have that on the list. That's also going to be affected. Fresh tomatoes is going to be affected. Fresh sweet corn. Summer's coming, but that's also going to be affected. All right, guess what? Tequila. All right, tequila is going to be affected. It says tequila is a distilled spirit made with agave plants. It has become increasingly popular in the U.S. in recent years, with imports exceeding $3.5 billion in 2021, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Mexico, so these people are making so much money, $3.5 billion? You see? Mexico is the sole beneficiary of this trend, as essentially all tequila consumed in the U.S. comes directly from Mexico. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. This is per the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, formerly known as the North American Free Trade Agreement. Tequila is a distinctive product from Mexico specifically. In other words, the U.S. and Canada agreed not to allow tequila to be sold unless it's made in Mexico and in accordance with Mexican laws and regulations governing tequila manufacturing. That's interesting, right? I think that should be on this article here, okay? But you see it, right? After all this stuff here, it's not the end of it all. It's just the beginning, okay? Because out there in the UK, they got other things planned for them. All right, the title goes, UK citizens told to prepare for October launch of EES. And what is EES? Remember when Trump was running back in 2016? He said when he comes in, he's going to be bringing in the biometric entry-exit system, which we need desperately. That is the EES system, the entry-exit system.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
Okay. Now, it says UK citizens have been advised to expect the introduction of the EU's entry-exit system, which is EES, in October 2025. So now you got the banks, okay, introducing their digital currency in the EU in October of 2025. The latest is what they're saying. And now you have an entry-exit system which goes into travel, all right, going across borders and so on and so forth. They're also going to be establishing their digital dominance in October of 2025. Now, it makes you wonder, why October of 2025? Why do they feel so confident in saying these, giving us these dates? You see, and as we read this article, you're going to see more dates. All right. It says, however, the exact rollout date for the biometric traveler registration scheme is still unknown, according to advice from the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. The European Union will inform about the specific start date. I'm assuming they will be informed, but let's read of the EES before its launch. The FCDO notice says, which FCDO is UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO. It says the EES deployment has gone through several delays, the most recent one in November 2024. The border scheme is now expected to be phased in over 6 months, right? Interesting, 6 months, right? In line with the EU's decision to introduce the EES progressively. Now remember, this is all about the beast system, okay? And the beast system runs, of course, throughout the whole entire world, but the power originates and emanates from from NATO and the EU, the NATO countries and the European nations, the European Union nations. Okay. So within 6 months or 6 months from now, all right, they're gonna have what is called, it says what, they would have introduced the EES, which is the entry-exit system. Okay, it says according to this scheme, third country nationals visiting the Schengen area will need to submit fingerprints, a facial photo, and other information. So it's not or, it's and. Okay, you have to have fingerprints and facial photo and other information. Following the EES, the EU is also planning to roll out the European Travel Information and Authorization System, ETIAS, which requires visitors to the bloc to apply for entry authorization and pay a €7 fee. You hear that? Entry authorization? Interesting. Remember, it's all about access. This is all part of the mental conditioning, the psychological conditioning of the masses. Because whatever they're going to be doing right now is going to be very, very similar to what's going to be happening when the CHIP comes out. In terms of travel, getting food, medication, housing, whatever, anything and everything. There's going to be a shutdown. Okay? Until, you can prove your allegiance, then you're going to have access to it. Right? It says, according to EU rules, the EES must be fully functional for 6 months before ETIAS is introduced. EU authorities are expecting that the EES will be operating fully across the Schengen area in April 2026, meaning that the authorization scheme can be introduced in October 2026 at the earliest. Announcements from the EU placed the ETIAS launch in the last quarter of 2026. Okay? Now, this is what they're saying. Okay, they're giving all these dates and shit. But what can happen that's going to speed up this process here? A crisis. See? Some form of health crisis will speed up this 2026 April to damn near 2025 April. That's how quick things could change. Okay? It says, however, ETIAS applications will be voluntary for 6 months, meaning the earliest date ETIAS will be mandatory is April 2027. The word mandatory is there. Okay? Meanwhile, more work is being done in the UK to ensure smooth sailing through border crossings. And it says, in the latest notice, the FCDO warns that British travelers should expect increased wait times at some ports and international stations, including the UK's Port of Dover, Undersea Railway Tunnel, Eurotunnel, and St Pancras Railway Station in London. Longer queue times are also expected at European airports. So this is all done by design. Okay, longer queue times are also expected at European airports. So now, what's going to solve this kind of issue? What's going to cause things to move quickly and more streamlined? See, so now people are going to see, you know what? It's just better if I just take the CHIP because just the way the system is right now, I'm going to be late for everything. I got to board a plane. I got to go through this long queue. This system sucks. What happened? Is either you bring the old system back, which is never going to come back, or this new system you're trying to implement solves all these issues that we're dealing with. That's the mindset they want the people to be in. Okay? It says, in its latest notice, the FCDO warns that British travelers should expect, I think we read that already. It says the agency adds it has invested more than 10 million euros, which is $12.9 million, into approximately 175 registration kiosks across Eurostar stations and the port of Dover. Registration kiosks. When they start talking that kiosk talk, that Pastor Hall calls them chipping stations. That's what that is. Okay, the chipping stations, man. All right. It says in maritime ports, such as Dover, the Home Office has also been testing contactless. Let me read that slow. In maritime ports, which is more like shipping and the seaports, right? Such as Dover, the Home Office has also been testing contactless corridors. Contactless, which use facial recognition to capture high-quality facial images of travelers while they are in the car. What type of technology do these devils have? The images are matched with the confirmed passenger ID in the vehicle that they are traveling in. Damn. It says the trial involves 4 suppliers, including iProve, which tested the technology between December 2024 and December 2025. Similar plans are reportedly underway for airports, according to the Telegraph. And here in America, we've seen all these planes falling out the sky. So now they're about to implement some new technology because most people are not going to want to take planes anyway. So now we made it safer, this and that, security. All right, cool. Here, you got to take the CHIP. Show us your CHIP before you can go in. See? Access. That's why Revelation 13, let's get that. There's a book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. So that mark that you're going to get, okay, that mark that's going to be given, all right, is contingent on whether you can buy or sell. Okay? You cannot buy or sell anything without this mark. All right, and that's where we're leading everything. So they have to have the system so streamlined, so difficult to deal with, that once you take the CHIP, everything becomes easy. They push the people into that corner, make them uncomfortable with how things are now. See? So that when the thing comes out, they want that. They're gonna clamor for that. We want an easier way. This is too difficult, and this is causing problems. And look at all the hell that we're going through. And Esau's going to say, yeah, we've thought about all these things. And would you take a microchip in your body to speed up your life and your processes and shit? A lot of people are going to say yes. Especially when your life is on the line. You can't get no jobs. You can't do anything. You're not even recognizable. You don't have an identity without that mark. That's your everything. See? So that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? So, amen. Which we're leading closer and closer to that. Okay? What we just read, here in America, they're finna collapse everything with the food and the health and so on and so forth, and usher in that what. All right, and out there in the UK, they're telling the citizens to prepare. All right, for the launch of the entry-exit system in October of this year. All right, so you have that to look forward to. And then, of course, next month in April, they're saying all these price hikes is coming. All right, so it doesn't bode well for anyone at all. But let's read this and we're going to close it out. All right, what time are we in? We are in the time of the Lord Yahweh Basham shall bring in judgment. Evil judgment. Okay? Evil judgment. Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 3 says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, an only evil, behold, is come. So he gets all the credit. As we read in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, that what? That the reason why the Lord is bringing all these plagues to the world, right? The famines, the sword, and so on and so forth, is because what? Wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole entire earth, right? And it says what? And their hurtful works, what? Are fulfilled. Okay? So it's reached that time. So now the Lord got to what? He got to jump in. Okay? And how does he jump in? With the plagues. That's how you know the Lord is dealing. Okay? That's how you know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is dealing. All right? And you wait till you see when he turns up some more. He's going to just turn up the heat just a little bit. And people go, hey, it's too hot. It's too hot. Please turn it up. And he's like, yo, I just cranked it up just a little. I didn't even move it. It's just like a little twitch. So what if I was to just turn that thing? Let me just turn. It's over with. Let's read verse 6, Ezekiel 7:6. It says, an end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Okay, that's perfect with Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Though it wait for it, though it tarry, wait for it. Right? The end is coming. We're here. We are at the end, man. Okay? It says what? An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Okay? And then when you jump down a little bit, see if we can get that real quick. There you go. There you go. Yep. That's all I needed on that part. Actually, you know what? Let's keep going. Verse 8, it says, now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense thee for all thine abominations. Okay? And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways, and thine abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh that smiteth. Okay, the Lord, everyone's going to know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is the one who's dealing the blow upon the Babylonians of Babylon herself. Okay, you made an enemy out of the man. Esau, you're just dumb, bro. You're just a dumbass, man. You make an enemy against the God of war, the man of war himself, who made all things. Our ancient forefathers, before they spoke to the Lord, they always had to big him up. You know, oh, Heavenly Father, great and powerful being, the creator of all things, the king of the universe, you that created the oceans, these great oceans, the whales that are in the oceans, the trees and the mountains, the great mountains, the people, the animals, the heavens, the earth, everything in it. Lord, you created it all. See, they big them up before they go ahead and say what they got to say. See, that's how small, tiny we are, right, in comparison to this great power. And you saw Esau is going to come in. You're so proud, right? You're so proud. The basest of men wants to exalt himself and say he is God. Please, should just pissing me off just thinking that. All right. But anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash, the water Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And until next time, Shalom.